As I tackle on this road, I noticed something very different from the ones before. Let's start at the beginning. My first year in uni has started about 2 months ago, and due to high number of cases in my country, it is online. Still, many of my classmates had moved into the big city where the university is stationed. However, for me, it wasn't the case, and it wasn't an option. Having to sit in front of my laptop for months on end is not only exhausting, but also challenging. Conversations are getting harder and harder to deliver. The impossibility of real-life connection and the lack of actual presence had taken a huge toll on my mental health. I feel like I'm trapped in a box. My attention is fixed on one thing, and I'm getting sadder and sadder, starting to lose all things that made me happy and devoted in the first place. Hello. So today is a not so special day in my life, but I wanted to make it special. First of all, we're gonna talk about this a little bit later, but I just wanted to hop in and tell you what the hell is going on and why I'm making this, because it has a purpose. Don't worry, I'm not just like showing you everything that I'm doing. It has a purpose, okay? It's like I need to tell myself what I'm doing. Anyways, in the last couple of days, I've struggled so hard with my mental health and everything that is going on in my life, which is basically nothing. And realizing the fact that I'm here, nothing is really happening with me, and my story isn't so special and so extravagant as others might be like, I realized that I think I have a problem, and the problem is me. My days are very blunt. Nothing is happening, basically. I have classes usually from 9:40 to about 5 p.m. But there are days when things are a little bit more loose and I don't have classes on Thursday. So starting on Thursday, I don't have any classes, which is great because I can focus on studying. But the thing is, there are many restrictions, and even though I'm vaccinated, a lot of my friends aren't. And so I don't really have anyone to sit in a bar with or, go out with. So my days tend to fall very uninteresting. And when I hop onto Instagram, I see a lot of my high school classmates who have moved to different countries and study there. To me, at least, it seems like they're living their best life. They're independent. They are meeting new people and just getting out of their comfort zones and doing what they actually love to do. And I'm here with basically nothing, alone, isolated, and I don't feel like I'm living. I feel like I'm just floating in this space called time, and as it passes by me, I don't realize how precious all of this period of my life is. And that's why I'm doing this. I don't want anyone to feel like me, basically, and I don't want me to feel like me right now. And I'm trying my best to put myself together and find ways to appreciate and love this period of my life as well. I read a quote by Kay Tolno, which basically says, "Be soft enough to bend in the storm." This quote resembles with me, and I think would resemble with a lot of people. I just love how it approaches problems that we face in a very different way. Here comes healing, a process that is seemingly an obvious one, yet when you think about it, you actually realize that it's way more important than anything you can do to get better. And you need to realize that what true healing actually means can be way different from what society tells us and wants us to think. The word heal has many definitions, But one that would definitely describe my vision of it the most is to cause an undesirable condition to be overcome. However, here the process is unclear and left for personal interpretation. I think that many of us approach healing as a process of getting back on the grind and trying to push things onto ourselves immediately and expect results immediately, looking perfect while doing it and having an absolutely perfect experience of it. In reality, this can't and shouldn't happen. When you think of it, healing, just like anything, takes a long time. It's a lengthy process, and sometimes you end up failing. And that's when you need to push yourself even harder and think of the reason why you're doing this. You're not doing it to get results fast. You're doing it in order to heal all those little issues from within for real. The journey to revitalization shouldn't be perfect. It's all about learning how to deal with one's flawed and broken self, experiencing this brokenness and slowly healing and letting go of everything that is hurting us or had hurt us in the past. This realization actually made me understand why had I so many times had to give up on this process. I was approaching it in the wrong way. It felt like pretending, fake it till you make it is what's the answer, but it's actually the opposite. Why should you heal yourself from this perspective when you can try and find better ways? Healing should be peaceful, should be soft, loving. In silence, the thorns that keep our minds hostage can shrink, and the buds of our blooming minds can flourish. I find that nourishing my body can also help me feel more happier. And I just love to make these health bowls, as I call them. Sometimes I just have no energy to cook for hours. And when I put this together, it's still healthy enough for me to enjoy it. Adding tons of veggies and fibers and a little bit of rice for that grains, and then adding cheese and eggs. I just love it so much. It tastes so good. I want to live my life happily, but as many people say, happiness comes from within. So I've decided that instead of trying to focus on little aspects of my life that I feel like aren't perfectly in tune with my future self, let's say that, I would rather approach this differently. Instead of trying to pinpoint what is wrong with me, I'd rather try to find happiness within my own zone. Find out what makes me really happy, even in a situation that I can't change. I believe that there are many ways that can help us find peace within our own life. Acceptance is key. Accepting that everything that is happening around you is out of your control. You can't possibly have control over everything. The only aspect that you can have control over is your thoughts and your actions. This is actually a Stoic law and practice. Think of the world as not an extension of yourself, but an outside power, which cannot be influenced by one's own will. Another thing about acceptance, I think, and why is it important to accept certain things in my life? Because if we start to always and always relentlessly think of situations that we don't know the whole story of, we can tell ourselves half-truths or even lies. Our relationships, even our relationships with ourselves, could be damaged. If you accept that sometimes relationships need to end, if you accept that sometimes people walk in and out of your life, even if you accept yourself the way you are now and you don't want to change anything about yourself, if you accept things the way they are now, you can way more easily cherish all these little moments that you're given in the present moment. You don't need to focus on the future. It's not here yet. Second thing, which can ease and help you get into this acceptance state, is gratefulness. There are many practices which can help you reflect over what you are grateful of. Some people like to have a gratitude journal, or when they journal, they try or tend to write down 3 to 5 things that they're grateful of, either at the start of the day or at the end of the day. I know getting into habits is hard and it takes time to push yourself enough to at least get started. But if you feel like right now this is something that you don't want to do, or it feels like it takes too much effort, just before you go to sleep, tell yourself 3 or 4 or 5 things that you're grateful for today. That can be anything from the smell of rain to your parents or the fact that you drank coffee, anything that made you happy. Journaling. Journaling is a great way to get things out of your head onto a paper. If you don't have anyone to talk with, if you're alone, it's a good way for you to at least get it out of your mind and just push it onto something else. It helps you develop this principle of trying to understand what is happening to you. And one thing that I would advise you to do every single day if you want to get into journaling. Journaling is something that, first of all, takes time for you to get into if you're just starting out. I've had days when I just didn't want to do it and I didn't do it. But when I did it, I just put everything into it. Each time you sit down and you journal, ask yourself why. Not why you're journaling. Ask yourself, what is your why for the day? If you journal in the morning, ask yourself, why am I happy to have this day to myself? Why is the reason that I woke up today? Why is the reason that I'm looking forward to today? If you prefer to journal at night, then ask yourself, why am I looking forward to tomorrow? Try to shift your focus onto positive affirmations, positive thoughts, because just like with energy, it flows. If you put positive energy out to the world, positive energy will flow back to you. Good things are going to happen to you if you think about positive things. The last thing that I find so important, I don't do it every single day though, but I find important into soul searching, is meditation. Meditation can help you become more grounded. I use a meditation app called Calm. Calm is a great app for individuals who just want to get started or are even advanced. They have many classes which focus on weekly challenges or monthly challenges, and one challenge that I started doing was this happiness meditation challenge, and I found it so relevant to this situation. Meditation can help you realize more things about your life and your present time on this earth, so you don't need to gravitate towards the future all the time, but rather find what makes you happy in the present with the people around you right now. You don't need to chase other people, you don't need to chase new people, you just need to accept and be grateful for who you're with.